Okay, so let's kind of change the color of the background. I've already changed that in Photoshop already, so I'm just going to import that on top of this. So still in the front view, image plane, import image. And I'll just look for where that is from my folders. This is it in here now. So let me just copy the directory also. And I'll paste this in here. Enter. I'll just select this. So that's more of a darker background to this. So I'll open this. It's actually in there, but it's kind of smaller, so I'll need to rescale this again. But I'll do this in a quicker way actually. So I'll select this is the new one imported in. So the old one is image plane 1. So with the image plane 1 selected, I'll go to the channel and layer and I'll copy the scale value. I'll go to the image plane 2 and I'll select all of this. No, let me click out, select all of this, then paste it in there, enter. Start to scale this up. So one more thing you need to do now is the translation for this. So select the image plane 1, copy the translation Y and go to image plane 2 and paste the translation in there. So now we should have this now on top of themselves, which is actually what we want. So this is fine. Yeah, so to hide that image plane 1, just select it and then Control Shift should hide that. Control H rather. So now let's keep working on this. So vertex mode, select all the vertex, push this down, just kind of get this averagely in there. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So with scale tool now, hitting hard on your keyboard, I can scale this in just to have this roughly around there. Push this up, yeah, that's fine. So I'll select all the vertex at the bottom part also, drag this up like so, go to the scale tool, scale this down. Now we have to scale this from the center part so it scales uniformly around the entire model, around the entire vertex or around the selected vertex. I think that is roughly there, but I also need to add some more edge loops around this. I'm going to be using the multi-cut to add some more edge loops around this. So multi-cuts. So let me just hold Control on the keyboard, then click in there. Select this. I'll scale this in. If you're using the multi-cut, so just hold Control on the keyboard and then you can now add a loop around this. Select this, hold Control and click in there. Select this, scale tool, scale this down. Maybe somewhere around there also. Let me just look for a good angle for this. Let's see. So with the same multi-cuts, hold Control, select the multi-cut, hold Control and click in there. Now that did not apply. No, not there. Let me look for a better angle. Let me just check the reference image instead. Let me just import the reference image into this. I think it's okay. Yeah, it's in there now. Or I actually imported. So let me delete one of this. Then I'll just frame this in and minimize this. So now this will give me a clearer idea of what I want to do in here. Okay, I think I should have. Let me just check this properly. I'm supposed to have another edge loop somewhere. I believe it should be at the bottom part, judging from the reference image on the left hand side. Let me see. Okay, somewhere around here. Let me select this, scale this down a bit. I'm just trying to make this kind of taper around. Select all of this. Let me see. Let me just zoom in here and kind of get a closer view on this. Scale this out a bit. Okay, with the multi-cut, let me add one more loop. Control and click in there. That's fine. I'll select all of this. I will need to scale this outward. Yeah, something like this should be fine. Yeah, something like that should be fine. It's roughly in there. Select all of this and scale this down even more. Select this and push this up. Yeah, that's fine. So let's check this from the perspective view now. So it's actually including into the our reference image. So we need to bring this out. So let me just move. I'm just kind of be sure of where to move this out from. So like so from the side view. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This should work. Like so. So let's scale up on the perspective view. Alright. I think that should be fine. And we can keep working on this even more. Okay. So let me just see where can we adjust in here. So I'm centering that pivot on the model. And now you can actually isolate this. So you can isolate this in here. Click on isolate, or the shortcut key is control 1. Just click on control 1 on your keyboard. That is the shortcut key for that to isolate. Then I think I'll kind of preview this. Let me do a smooth preview for this. So hit 3 on your keyboard to do a smooth preview. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Just checking this through. There will still need some extra loop for the top part though, but for now this is fine. We'll work on that later on to get even topology around this. But so far so good. This is all in quads. Which is exactly what we want. So now let's kind of fix the bottom roundedness of this bat. So we'll kind of fix that now. There are various ways of fixing this, but I'm just going to use the existing model to kind of do this. So I'm going to select some of the faces on top of this. So let me go to my front view and isolate just the 3D model. Then select all the faces at the top. Then I'll need to duplicate this face. So you can either hold Shift, right click and hold, and I'll scroll down to duplicate face. Then I should have on the outline now. If I select this, so you can see the new face that has been extracted out of this. So I have a duplicate of this now. So push this down. I'll put this all the way down. Push this all the way. Let me just zoom out and do this quickly. Push this all the way down. And I also need to flatten this out. I need to flatten this out. So go to the vertex. I think it should be on vertex. Let's try this. Nah, it's not working correctly. So we will go to the vertex mode, select all the vertices, and we scale to scratch this down. So that will kind of flatten everything out into a flat plane, which is exactly what we want. So I like how wide this is actually. So, but I will need to extrude all of this. So we can also duplicate this also. So I'm duplicating this now. Ctrl D, push this down just to have this as a backup. Just that'll be a backup in case this doesn't go out the way we want. So we still have a backup to work with. So just click on Ctrl D to duplicate that, which we have already done. So I would go to click on extrude. Let me give this a sec to load up the extrude. Okay, so now on the extrude. So I'll center this pivot on the extrude tool. So holding Control, I can just drag this out just to kind of just to have a slow incremental on this. So you hold the control down, and then just increase the slider. If you don't do that, that will kind of make the values go up way too fast. So guessing let's add one subdivision level to this. Just one subdivision loop around this. I think this should be fine. Let me go out on object mode and kind of check this to be sure. Okay. Let me go to face mode. I need to delete all the faces in the center parts because I would like to connect these two together. So I want to select this. So I'm out of isolation mode now. So let me go to face mode. Okay, let's see what we can adjust here. Is there anything we can? Okay, now we have so many history in here. I may need to delete history for this, so click on delete history. So now that will shrink everything down. So I will just darken this like so, or maybe even change the background. So Alt B to change the background. So that should be fine. Okay. Let me still isolate this and check. Okay, I can go to face mode, select all the faces, and delete this. I will leave the bottom face, so that's fine. So now I need to combine these two. So on object mode, I'll select this, the bottom part, and select the top part. Then I need to combine these two so I can kind of merge the corresponding points together. So I'll need to combine these two. So I'll show you guys how to kind of match points together, but this needs to be combined. This needs to be combined. So that's the two in there. We can hold Shift, right click, and hold and click on combine down here. So that will kind of make these two objects to be a single object now. So if I select this now, we have just a single object now. Name delete history on this, so that we have a single object on the outline now. So now we can easily connect this, but let me go to face mode. Double click on this to select all that separated face. Then I can adjust this as an individual piece because they're separated. So let me just kind of get this in place somewhere like so. Maybe even scale this like so, just to kind of increase the height of this. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. So the edge selected, I want to kind of make sure the edges are very close to themselves. I might need to shrink this in just to make this closer to themselves. Or let me just extrude instead. Let me extrude this up like so. Yeah, this is a better. Maybe this is a better way to do it. So this extruded now. Let me kind of eyeball this. So I need to scale this in just to make this match the sizing of the upper parts as close as possible. Yeah, this should be fine. Let me raise this up a bit even more. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. That's close enough. So now we can go to vertex and select all these verts, both the one for the top and the one for the bottom. So let's kind of connect all these verts. So no, that's not the one. Is that the one? So let me just hold Shift and Shift. Let me just go to merge vertices. So let's try this value. So merge. It didn't do anything. So we need more distance with this. So I'll select this again. I'll go to merge vertices. So now let's kind of increase the distance threshold. So around a value of 1, that kind of does the job for us. That connects everything together. So now let's kind of test this out. I'll click out of this and click out, and I'll use the smooth preview on this. So smooth preview. So yeah, that's cool. That kind of connected everything together. So this is exactly what we want now. This is exactly what we want, but the edge flow is not completely there yet. The edge flow for this, the coordinated edge flow for this is not good enough. We're still going to be fixing that. But let's see what we can adjust in here. Okay, so on wireframe mode, like I said initially, to isolate your model while selected, just click on Ctrl 1. Then to bring back the shaded mode, hit 5 on your keyboard. Wireframe mode is 4. Just hit 4 on your keyboard if you want to do that. So let's kind of even this quads out. So you see the distance in between this. So we need to kind of add some more edge loops around this to have an even flow around this, because I'm still going to be importing this to ZBrush. So we need to have even flow around this. So when we kind of subdivide the model, we have kind of evenly spaced out quads all around this. So we can kind of work on that even more. So we have the detailing or sculpted details on the entire model. We kind of have even resolution, even topological resolution around this. Very, very important, because something like this now that is not even, If you kind of start sculpting in ZBrush, notice that this part that is spaced out will have less polygons compared to the part that has like title quaded size topology on them. So I'm sure you get the idea, but just follow what I'm doing though. So something like, so I'm kind of using eyeballing this and kind of making sure the space in between each quads or each edge loop are almost as even as they possibly can be. So you can see how even they are right now. Though in here, I still need to kind of adjust this. See how even they are. I'm going to make some adjustments here also. Because the gap in here is just way too much. The gap in here is way too much. I need to adjust that. There's so much gap in here that needs to be corrected. Because we want to have an evenly spaced out gap around the entire model as we possibly can. So I'm thinking of what to do in here. I don't want to mess up the deformation we have in here. So I might just have to, let me see. So hold shift, so control with shift, right click and hold, then you can put this to edge slide. So somewhere around here, I'm just sliding this down. I still want to keep the overall deformation of the bat, but moving the edge loop without breaking the deformation in there. So now I can use multi-cut and kind of add this in here. So we're kind of close enough. Maybe with a few more adjustments, we can kind of get this to look right. Okay, let me just see if so yeah, you can also do this here also. So from the transform constraint, you can also do the same thing in here also. You can either put that on edge slide or surface, either ways. But there are other shortcuts to do this also by holding control, shift, and right click and hold. So let's check this out now. Let's see if our spacing is a bit evenly close enough. Yeah, I think we can work with this. The spacing are kind of close enough. But maybe let me make some adjustments in here. I need to add an edge loop in here. So let me select this. Probably even bevel this. Let me turn if that like no. Let me undo that. Let me turn this off and just scale this in like so. Maybe I might even need to add some edge loops around this. I need some more supporting edge loops around this. Let me scale this out. So that should make that feel a bit more rounded. Multi-cut. I need to add an edge loop around here. Just one should be fine. Yeah, for the under part, not really. The under part should be fine. So now I think this should be fine. It's good enough to work with. The topology is not completely even, but it's close enough. It's close enough for what we need it for. It's close enough. Now I feel this my bat is just way too thin. I need to kind of make some manual adjustment to this. Let me kind of make some manual adjustment to this. It's not completely necessary though, but I feel this under the bottom part is just way too thin. When I zoom out of this, it's kind of getting lost in my viewport, like almost disappearing out of sight. And I don't really want that. I want this kind of have some kind of thickness to it. So the body is just completely up to you though. This is just based on personal preference though, but I want to adjust this even more. So I'll just try to adjust this, but not overdoing it and messing up the real world scale we have in there. So you just have to be really careful with this. So I'll scale this up like so. And I'll squash this down from the axis. Yeah, that should be fine. But the bottom part, I need to make adjustment on the bottom part because that's just going into the model too much. The bottom vertex are going to the model too much. So let me raise this up. Just to make that visible here is more visible now. The bottom vertex is now more visible now. Okay. Maybe I can even scale this out a bit more. then move this down. I think this should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. So now this is fine. This is good enough for us to continue working on. You can see the topology in there now. It's kind of a bit even, not extremely even, but it's good enough for us to work with. So that's fine.